Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good day. Welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. ExxonMobil's subsidiary, Esso, is on the hunt for local companies that are capable of providing insurance for its $10 billion Yellowtail project, as well as its $2.2 billion gas-to-energy venture. This was noted in its request for information published on Monday. The document said Esso is seeking detailed commercial and technical information from suppliers who can provide local insurance to cover 4 major areas. The company said it is seeking credible insurance providers for all subsea, umbilical, riser, flowliness, shore-based construction and related assets for the Yellowtail development. This coverage is expected to be from February 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2026. And for the month of November, we reported on several countries that have either increased the windfall tax on oil and gas companies or have signaled their intention to do so. A windfall tax is a one-off tax imposed by a government on a company, specifically targeting those that benefit from something they were not responsible for. In this instance, the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war has sent oil prices soaring and triggering a cost of living crisis in many countries. Amid the war, oil and gas companies have been seeing record-breaking profits. For just the third quarter of 2022, ExxonMobil announced that its overall earning was a record-shattering $19.7 billion, whereas U.S. oil major Hess reported that it earned a net income of $515 million, and China National Oil Company recorded $5.1 billion. While the oil giants' profits are being taxed in foreign countries, Exxon Guyana, Hess Guyana Exploration Limited and Sinnock Petroleum Guyana Limited have been enjoying tax-free profits here, with the government disclosing that it has no intention of implementing a windfall tax. In other news, bandits brutally murdered an 85-year-old woman on Monday in her Section B bush lot West Coast Berbice home while escaping with approximately $350,000. Dead is Sumintra Saw, popularly known as Auntie Betty, who would have celebrated her birthday last Monday. Police said that Saw's body was found lying face up on her bed with bloodstains about her body. Investigations revealed that the woman was stabbed 6 times, one each to both sides of the temple, 3 to the forehead and 1 to the back of the head. The woman's 37-year-old caretaker niece, Roshini Basdio, would stay with her at night. She is in police custody, assisting police with their investigations. And moving on. Physical assault on ranks of the Guyana Police Force will not be tolerated, and those found guilty of the attacks will face the full brunt of the law, Police Commissioner Clifton Hickens said on Monday. Hickens told traffic ranks from Georgetown and the East Coast that he has taken note of the recent incidents of aggressive and abusive attacks meted out to members of the force while carrying out their lawful duty. Last Tuesday, 2 teenagers, ages 18 and 19, were arrested for assaulting a police constable at Republic Road, New Amsterdam, Berbice. On Saturday, another cop was beaten by a bus driver along the Montrose Public Road on the east coast of Demerara. And just before we head to a short break, let's tell you that Canadian oil explorers Frontera Energy Corporation and CGX Energy Inc. said yesterday that they are all set to drill their next target in the Quarantine Block offshore Guyana. Of course, In fact, the partners said final preparations are complete in advance of spudding the Wei-1 well, which follows the discovery of light oil and gas condensate at the Kaieteur well made earlier this year. CGX previously noted that the well will be drilled at the cost of $93 million. This sum would be recoverable should CGX move to production on the heels of a commercial discovery. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio, 99.5 and 99.1 FM. I'm Kevin Smith. We'll return shortly after the break.
Wanting to protect your family during these difficult times of COVID-19 is natural.
Stay at home, wash your hands often, and don't touch your face.
Yes, Daddy.
But are you doing these things too? And do you practice social distancing? Do you keep 3 to 6 feet away when you're shopping? Or at least stay an arm's length away in the supermarket? Remember, children learn from adults. So if you're not obeying the precautions, neither will they. We have to work towards the new normal together to keep our families safe and protected. Be part of the solution, don't add to the problem. Teach by example and do the right things.
A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Let's continue with your news. A barge transporting fuel, explosives, and a truck belonging to Jijin Mining Inc., a Chinese company, sank in the Kaieteur River on Sunday. We understand that the barge sank Sunday morning in the vicinity of Tapir Landing, located not too far away from the company's operations at Aurora Gold Mines. It is unclear if anyone was on board the vessel and what caused it to sink. A cell phone recorded video showed that the barge was close to the riverbank and had capsized before slowly disappearing under the water. Efforts are being made to recover the fuel and bring the truck to the surface. Meanwhile, a massive fire on Monday afternoon destroyed a hardware bond at Plantation Lewis near East Demerara, belonging to Z. Mohammed and Sons Trading. It is understood that the bond was stacked with thinners, sheetrock, plyboard, and other hardware materials. During firefighters' hour-long quest to get the fire under control, several explosions were heard coming from inside the warehouse. Businessman Zaid Mohammed related that at the time of the fire, none of the 6 employees was at the warehouse. At the time of reporting, there was no official report on the fire from the Guyana Police. That should be the Guyana Fire Service. Meanwhile, Guyana initiated visa-free travel talks with the Republic of Italy during a meeting between Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd and Italy's non-resident ambassador designate to Guyana, Fabrizio Nicoletti. In a press release, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that Nicoletti paid a courtesy call to Minister Todd. In October, British High Commissioner to Guyana, Jane Miller, announced visa-free travel to the United Kingdom. Meanwhile, Minister Todd told the non-resident ambassador designate that Guyana is committed to fostering stronger bilateral relations and partnership with Italy to several priority areas, including health, education, and security. And moving on. The Guyana Elections Commission on Monday announced that the distribution of national identification cards has started countrywide. Persons who completed registration transactions during the cycle of continuous registration held during the period March 2022 to May of 2022, the claims and objections exercise, which held during the period August 2022 to September of 2022, respectively, are advised that they can collect their national ID cards from the GCOM registration office where the transaction was done. And to wrap things up, The Ministry of Public Works has embarked on a campaign to remove derelict vehicles and all encumbrances from the roadways and has given the owners of the vehicles 24 hours to have the ruins removed. In a public notice, the ministry said, in this regard, vehicle owners are being warned to immediately remove such encumbrances or have these removed by the ministry's team. The notice said that all derelict vehicles should be taken to the ministry's derelict dump site located at Luluni. The ministry's dump site can be accessed from the Kurukururu Suicide Linden Highway entrance. And it is time we wrap things up with page 7 of today's Kaieteur News. Thomas Sankara, a true leader. First, this Burkina Faso improved the lot of his people in ways they could feel and enduringly. He improved food protection. He built massive infrastructure without much foreign aid. Thomas Sankara gave the poor land, vaccinated millions of children, and improved literacy rates. President Ali, are you listening? Jagdeo, is this registering? Mr. Norton, are you interested? And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Stream live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.